operate the system. Sources of revenue are water and sewer billings and the maintenance tax. That's projected to have a surplus of $142,000 this year. On the debt side, you try to maintain that at its existing level. You don't, if it's already twice the annual debt service requirement, you sure don't want to grow that number. That's plenty. The third account would be capital projects, and that one, there are other funds, water.
So the second account basically services the bond debt that's already in there? Okay.
Exactly.
And we've got twice as much in there as what we currently need.
For the coming year.
Right.
Now, let me say also that that's why we invited you to the weekly monthly meeting, because
I got a business to run.
yeah, but our bookkeepers always report on this monthly meeting.
That's right.
And it's public information for you.
I'm just asking a simple question.
Yeah, and I'm saying, but
So what's the projected net income going to be of all the accounts, with all the tax dollars coming in? What's our projected annual net for this?
$142,000.
Budgeted for this year.
140.
That's what goes in your operating account.
Well, that's net income. That's income above expense.
Okay.
Right? That's your question, right?
Okay. Well, let me ask the
The
question.
debt service
differently
account
to you then.
would be maintained at equilibrium. You don't want to make a profit there.
Well, that's what you suggested.
Right.
But is that what's going to occur?
Yes.
Okay. And then the third account.
Capital projects, if it has anything in it, that's what I'm looking for here.
Our bookkeepers, and that's what I'm saying, our bookkeepers have that information accurate. I didn't bring my report, but our bookkeepers have that information accurate, and that's why I suggest that you want those figures that should come down
Well, he's your financial advisor, man.
It's true.
Well,
he's not at every meeting.
You deferred me to him already once.
For one, but he's not at every meeting.
And I'm just asking a simple question.
As it turns out, I can answer your question.
That's perfect.
The bookkeeper handles these accounts. I'm responsible for the activity in the debt service account. Certainly I watch your budget and activity in the general fund, and I know how to read this report. I just needed to find the right sheet. Your capital projects fund currently has $572,000 in it. And from there, what your question would be, and that I can't answer, your bookkeeper would be able to.
Well, you can't because it's a budgetary question. That's what I'm asking.
Well,
I'm asking you, what are we budgeting for net income of the MUD district?
You're not. The number that I gave you is the net income, $142,000, because capital projects would be unspent bond proceeds. Okay. And these monies fall into one of two categories. Either they're allocated to specific construction projects that have not yet been accomplished, and therefore are allocated, or they're surplus funds, unallocated, that would be available for other construction projects subject to the approval of the TCEQ.
So the money in the third account is basically bond money.
Correct.
There's not any additional money that comes in from revenues each month that goes towards, it's not allocated towards projects.
Correct.
Okay. Only money that's used on projects is bond money.
Correct. That is correct.
And the money that comes in from me and from all the other connections out there goes into the general fund.
Correct. And used to operate the system.
And the debt service fund. And the debt service fund, your money goes into it goes into debt service.
So we don't need to put any more in there.
No. Well,
you don't want to raise it, but you still put money in.
So we're putting money in there for
maintenance.
maintenance.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
every year.
So what money comes out of there?
Once a year.
Okay. Once a year.
Your payments to the district come in two forms, as you know.
Right.
Monthly, you write a check for your water and sewer billing.
Right.
That revenue all goes in the general fund and is used solely to operate the system. Once a year, you pay taxes.
Right.
That tax consists of two components. One goes to debt, a portion goes to debt service, and a portion goes as maintenance tax and goes to operations.
Right.
Okay, so a portion that the operating maintenance portion goes into the general fund, just like the water and sewer billings, and that's used to operate the system. On the debt side, you pay a portion of your tax goes into the debt service account. What I'm saying is that balance is maintained at this level of equilibrium. It is not intended to grow. As a matter of fact, at that level, twice the annual debt service amount, we really would draw that down over time. You don't need that much in that account. Probably, and then up to the board, my guess is over time would be brought down to a level of about an amount about equal to the annual debt service amount, and then kept there. That's plenty. You collect 100% of your tax.
So then, that portion that wouldn't be allocated into debt service would be able to be utilized for capital improvement?
No. Once a dollar goes in the debt service account under Texas law, it can only be used for debt service.
I understand.
And
You're
so
saying we're going to draw it down?
basically what would happen would be we would under levy a little bit. We would levy a tax that's a little less than the debt service amount and draw that
That's how
fund
you bring
balance
it down?
down. Exactly.
Okay.
We've been at a level of taxes where we just had to increase.
Well, I don't understand how that works.
So,
But
but
I
I,
get the explanation.
Well, the whole idea, obviously, is to keep taxes and those billings down to the lowest degree possible and get the business done. What I will say, I have some cards here. Not to inflate your egos. You guys are smart. This is the best set of questions I've had at a town hall meeting in a long time. I would encourage you, if you want more information about your finances, please call me. I do this for a living. I like talking about this stuff. And we'll spend whatever amount of time you want seeing to it that you get the information that you want. And again, beyond just conversation, the evidence of the accuracy of what I'm saying exists in that audit that's available to you every year, and your financial statements have to be audited by an outside auditor.
Do we have to make an open records request
No,
to get
no,
one of those?
no, of course not.
Okay.
No.
Corporate.
Open records request is kind of an adversarial thing where you're trying to force somebody to give you
Right.
something.
Hey, we're just asking for information.
You are, who have the constituents here, if you want this, call the law firm, they'll make it available to you. These reports come out monthly. Bookkeeper's report, tax assessor collector's report, operator's report,
Engineer's report.
engineer's report, all available to you all to inspect so that you can see that with whatever frequency you want how your district is doing.
Generally, when you call and ask for that kind of information, you're told to put the request in writing and make it a formal request.
That's not the way districts work.
Well, that's been my experience, and I've
Let
received
me-
requests like that.
Let me assure you, if you call the law firm and you ask for something and you don't get it, if you'll call my office, I will see to it that you get it.
So in summary, you need
Without
$5.5
having to make
million.
a formal request.
well, we
We need $5.5 million.
and I always, whenever I speak,
In our,
I always say we, because I live here, and I've been living here 20 plus years. I forget the small numbers, 24, 25 years. We need it because we need to keep our sewer and water system working and operational so that our neighborhood can be viable. And
well, what we
that's all
actually
it
need is access to the ability to raise $5.5 million.
That's what you need, because you may not need
So that's
all
really
of
what you're
that.
asking for.
That's what we need.
Access to the $5.5 million. Okay.
So are you not gonna live here next year after next? That's why I always say we, because, we personalize it.
I couldn't tell you about beer next year, I can tell you beer
But you
tomorrow.
live there now, right?
Yeah.
And that's my point. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad. And every time I've been here, you've been here. You've probably been here more than I've been here.
No, I was going to hear that one time you were here.
Well,
And he's the only been here that much. Boy, y'all all around that one
I'm
time.
here twice.
That keeps the neighborhood going. I raised my kids here, and, you probably doing the same. And bottom line is what is needed right now to get the community, to keep the community viable, and let's do it.
And if I may say again, on the table over there, the law firm has provided information about voting, where the voting will take place. There is early voting here in the district, so that if you want to vote early, you can do that. And then there's also an explanation of